Simon, cheers for your time. Just to catch up, obviously I know Matt spoke to you on Monday, but since then you might have had some updates. Any fresh injury concerns since then?
Yes and no. None that I wish to share just yet until we sort our team out. But it's that time of year. Everyone's carrying bits and bobs, and fortunately get a few back this week, or hopefully get a few back, depending on how everyone goes on Friday. Because again, there's a few knocks within the group, but nothing major to report, I don't think.
Nothing that you want to share at the moment. How significant are those that you don't want to share?
Well, we're trying to get to the bottom of that at the moment, so
Okay.
Sorry, can't give you much more than that really.
No, I appreciate that. How did Herman come through?
Good. Tough game. Did okay. It's a tough one really to sort of judge any of them on, performance-wise. Well, other than it weren't good enough, obviously. But the game there was two different speeds to it. There was Lee's speed, then there were our speed, and that really affected the whole game, really. We couldn't handle it, could we? So, we'll need to be better this week. And Herman got through it, which is the positive, I suppose. A few good carries in amongst, as you always expect with Herman. But he's certainly raring to go and give a better account of himself this week.
How timely getting those players back?
Yeah, obviously, I don't have to build it up. This press will build it up as much as they want. It's an important game. We don't want to lose to them again. We've lost to them once this year. We'd like to come out the right side of the 3 games. But they're a decent team. They hang in games. They stay in there. They've got some quality in amongst them. They're a fit team, and they really are a team. You can see they're together. They've come up with nothing to lose, and they've had that approach all year, and it's got them more than people would have expected. Right?
How different does the mindset have to be from that last game then? I imagine, based on what you've just said there, that the memory of it's still raw, and you've lost a few this season, but how different does the mindset have to be?
I think there's just a little bit of realising the situation, I think. We're in a situation where there is no relegation. Now, imagining if it was still in play, where we find ourselves, London, as I said on Monday when I got asked that, but they are in a position of being down the bottom of the table, which is not foreign to any team that comes up from championship over the years. It's difficult to put your team together at that time of the year and get the level of play you need to jump right up it as leaded. They had a Super League team playing Championship, of course. They've got their problems, and they've had the ability to have that free hit almost of a season, where the expectation holds always high, and we don't have to go for everything. But there's been a lot of stuff and a lot of change on a weekly that have contributed to where we are in the table. We're down there, and as I say, if we played the imagination game of your jobs are on the line, aren't they? 3 months from now you could be looking at something very different to a full-time rugby league career. So I think if that doesn't put a little bit of a fire under people, I'm not really sure what would.
Can I just ask you to clarify the situation regarding Jake Truman, because there was some fans I think thought that it was reported wrong, but it was quotes from you. Well, your quote was he's gone potentially for the rest of the season. He then pointed out on a quote tweet that his Achilles is good, it's a calf injury, and says hopefully he'll get a few games in before the end of the season.
Yeah, hopeful. So potentially he is gone for the rest of the year with 6 weeks left. Everything will have to go perfect for him to play. And then also there comes that element of risk. If you got the last game, for example, he was just about ready for, then you're talking about, is it worth throwing him in off the back of it? And I didn't mention Achilles. As Troy points out, it is his calf. I said there's some tears down there near his Achilles. And apparently, in conversation with the consultant, that's probably what happened on his other leg. He had some tears down there which overloaded the tendon, which led to a rupture. The point I was making was the silver lining in all that was he's avoided potentially putting himself in that position again, which after a couple of big ones would be no good for him. It'd be great to have True back between now and the end, but it'll have to be right for him and us, depending where he's at, because you know what it's like when you've been out for a period. We could select play like Brad Fash missed loads of games. we put Fash in. The name's Brad Fash, but it's not the player that you want. Do you know what I mean? Like, it takes him a while to get back to the form and the level of expectation you have on their performances. So there's that bit in there as well around why he might not play.
Given that Jake felt the need to respond, did he feel as though he was being written off for the remainder of the season?
No, I think he wanted to clarify, because the headline was a bit like he'd snapped his Achilles on the, whichever one gets people to click on it. And obviously, like a lot of things, the coach's words, certain words are chosen to create the headline, aren't they? And then you delve into the article of it, and it's not right what it seemed, I suppose. So he wanted to just correct it, and rightly so, after being injured on a couple of occasions. From what I can gather, he's copped a bit about being injured a lot, which I can relate to. So yeah, felt a need to clarify it, which is fine.
Okay, thank you for answering that. Danny Houghton with his calf, Jack Ashworth with his ankle. How are they getting on in their recovery?
Okay, Mint's frustrated. It's just a bit of a slow process, but he's starting to accelerate through the rehab now, and hopefully we see him in the not too distant. And Jack's joined in training today. He's another one desperate to play, but there's a decision around, has he got anything under his belt that's substantial enough to suggest he can go out and add to us and help us and improve us, as opposed to, back to what I just said around, it's Jack Ashworth, but is it Jack Ashworth we're going to see on game day, depending on his condition? So again, they're choices we need to make, and we'll look at, but it's nice to have a couple of blocks getting near a return.
Is he pushing you, saying, I can play, and you're trying to err on the side of caution?
Yeah, that's what players do anyway. Most of the time, rugby league, you try to convince people they're not right, as opposed to in other sports. I won't name them. You probably try to convince them they are right. And again, the position we're in, I'd like to think everyone wants to obviously contribute and try and help out. So no surprise that Jack wants to play. Minted play tomorrow if we put it on him really, and you got the physios out of the way, he'd leap past them and jump in, but that's just not how it works. And if we do put someone out there who's not ready, we've been struggling the last few weeks to handle the speed and of the game and the physical side of it, and you put someone in who's underdone, potentially it could add to your woes, I suppose. So yeah, we'll see what it look like.
Jason.
Grix, as far as the suspensions go, are all three of them, are they good to go back in? Are they knocks, or are they okay? Or?
Three of the suspensions, Liggy,
Fash
and Lena. They've all got bits, to be honest. Fash has done it tough all year. Laney's played every game, and he's got the usual bits you'd expect from everyone this end of the year. And Liggy, again, he had a couple of injuries, and ankle injury, knee injury, bits that he's been carrying, and them three are all going to be checked. But the most likely would be Laney would be the most likely to come in and do a bit of a different role for us this week, I think. But they're all in the mix anyway. We just need, again, we'll try to leave it every week as late as we can to see exactly what we've got available.
I appreciate it. Obviously, all team news and injuries at the LFC at the minute are the talking points. But obviously, there's return to play protocols. Ed Chamberlain, Matty Laidlaw after their knocks. Did they pass them this week? Yeah,
they're fine. They've trained. They've ticked the box, as you say, over the last 12 days or whatever it is to put themselves in contention, and they've trained well today.
Obviously, last week the team picked itself, didn't it? Because you only had the players available, so that was so slow on it. Is it any easier this week for you? Is there any decisions that you're going to have to make in terms of actually leaving someone out and picking someone over?
It's probably not that hard to leave people out considering our last two performances, but getting it right, changing it for the sake of it because the name looks a bit better or a bit more seasoned, if you like. They're the decisions that, as coaches, we'll sit around the table and we'll make an informed decision on what we think's best for the group.
So you mentioned the spine and just finding a little bit more cohesion in training. Obviously, that was the first time that four, obviously didn't off the bench from say five, they played together. Will the time on the field this week help that cohesion? Obviously, help it get better for this week's game.
We'll see. Come full time, I suppose. And again, it's not like you have 7 full days of training and you're spending 8 hours a day on the field doing it. We've got a limited time of what we can do, and when we can do it, obviously post game it's about recovering to get right. Then it's doing the work. Today's been our bigger day, and then our last session before the game, it's a bit of a polish up and a rehearsal of what you're going to do. So there isn't a heap of time to turn it into what you like the finished product to be. but we've made a couple of changes to try and make it real clear what we're doing. So responsibility doesn't just fall within those spine players, and everyone should be well clear. This should be most weeks, to be fair. I think it's just that change and familiarity of everything just makes things a little bit harder, but everyone will be clear on what their job is and what they need to do.
So your positive for the club at the minute is Jed Cartwright. Obviously debuting last week, he was very high praise with his performance on his debut. So what's he been like in training this week? I'm guessing he's buzzing to go again.
Yeah, fine. Again, today's the only day we've actually done a proper session today, and he's gone in fine, and he's looked good in the training sessions we've had him previous. And as you said, I did praise him after the game. I think it wasn't his best game, and it's not the name is not what, it's just the name. It's not the end product of, I think, what we'll see from Jed after such a long time out. But to get through 70 odd minutes and we saved him from himself, we got him off because he was shattered. Still willing, still turning up. I thought he showed some real good qualities in a team that was on the back foot for large parts. So that definitely was a positive. And as I say, once the game time, the familiarity catches up with what you'd expect from him, I think we've got a player there.
The reason I mention that again is because you spoke last week about finding things beyond the result, looking for positives, whether it's player finding form or an edge combination or a partnership. So things to go like that is definitely positive.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're kicking them every week. There's more than that. I thought the young wingers were really good, carried the ball well, and I think I did mention after Harvey's try, Josh Charlie's as good as defender as we've seen at Super League on the wing, and strong as well. So the ability to get rid of him and get the ball down was really good to see. And the listening as well, mate, which you see with a lot of young lads. They don't know it all, and they haven't got it under the belt, so they will mess up now and again. But yeah, they are trying to do what we're asking, which is a pleasing thing. And yeah, as we keep saying it, don't we? But this will do them the world of good moving forward.
Magic weekend then. Are you a fan?
Magic weekend. Yeah, done it at the right place and given it enough attention to make it a big event. Yeah, I do like it.
Obviously, there's been a bit of talk about Paris and potentially Dublin coming into the calendar. So I don't know if the truth's in that, but it's been reported by the Sun, I believe. So is that more for you what the concept's about, rather than have it in Leeds, or are you pro expansion?
I think it'd make it a bit more of an event, wouldn't it, if it was in somewhere new like that? Not that there was anything wrong with Newcastle. I think everyone enjoyed it up there. And from my playing career, I played it at Etihad, Cardiff, and Edinburgh. Each of them were great days out. And anyone that goes, I've not been as a fan, I've not had the opportunity to go, but anyone who goes always have positive things to say about it. So wherever it is, I think it's a good event on the calendar. But yeah, if you're taking it somewhere new, I don't see why that'd hurt. And Rugby League fans generally travel pretty well, don't they? And I think it could be good in Dublin, Paris, as you mentioned. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they go with it.
How important is Hull support this Saturday then? Obviously it's a big game against London, no one's going to take them lightly or anything like that, just can't, let's face it. But, so how important is that support to, effort areas when it gets a bit tough, for that support to...
Yeah, that support's been great, and I've mentioned it on occasion. Yeah, the support's been there. Again, even at the weekend, obviously. And I said it again, sorry, I do apologise, because at the minute, every week seems to be a bit of a blur of each other, doesn't it? But, I seen him there at the end of the game, still there to clap those lads off. It's good to see, and, they are trying for him. They're giving it everything when they're out there. It's not all going our way, but just as much times as the good times don't last, the tough don't. We just got to keep our sleeves rolled up at the moment.
So I asked Adrian Lamb about Lackland, and obviously revealed that he's going to stay with Lee next year. Also, I know you can't shed any light on recruitment and stuff like that, but how important is it for Hull to get those, Richie Round's come in and said there's 1 or 2 additions, so how important is it for the club to get those right for next year?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not aware of the full situation of Lamb, where it's at. I presume, I've read, same as yourselves probably have, where he's staying at Lee. That's the way of it. Good players have more than one suitor always. There's always going to be a few people in for him, and that position's an important one, that whether it's NRL or UK, there's not a great amount of depth for it, so they are going to have plenty of suitors, and it's a position we do need to sort out and fill. But thankfully I'm not the one who has to be on the phone chasing them. That's up to Rich to sort out.